everyone and welcome back. Now this video is actually like a very last minute decision. Like I literally just finished recording a different video, had no idea what I was going to record for now, like this coming week. And I just was like, you know what? I looked at my phone, was like, what am I doing? I had something still up there that I won't say yet, and I was like, yes, that's what I'm gonna do. So, literally like a couple of seconds ago, less than a minute ago, could be a minute ago now, I thought of this idea as a video for this week because I've recorded a bunch of other videos that I don't want to upload yet, and the one I would upload is not done yet because of numerous factors, really. I decided, because you know what I have been getting really into this year and like last year a little bit, I think. I was always like, I'm listening to music, I'm watching a movie, I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching a show. I never considered podcasts. I don't know why. I was just like, why do I want to listen to someone speak? That's what I'm doing now. That's what I watch on YouTube. That's what radio was. And I guess in some terms, I was like, why do I want to listen to radio? I want to listen to the music, but it's a different format and it's just different. And now I'm kind of into radio in some aspects. And I was as a kid too in certain times, certain people. But now you can control who you listen to. It's not just some random person that pops up on the radio. Usually there's like people anyway that they're scheduled, but you know, I can choose. So this all started when I was waiting in line for a COVID test, and I went through the drive-in one option. And the drive-in option, this was a time where the COVID cases had spiked, and I was not expecting how long it was going to take. It was just me in the car, and the line was long, okay? I knew that from the start, but I was like, yeah, it's not going to take overly long. Maybe 2 hours. It took like, I don't know, 7 hours or something. It was a very long time. My family, like my parents, had driven out of town, gone somewhere like a few hours away, done stuff, come back. And they had just like got back just after me. And I was like, what am I going to do? I listened to music for a bit, and then I was like, I've just had enough. I don't want to listen to any more music. I like music, but this was just too long. So I found a podcast. I was like, you know what? I'm giving it a shot. And I did. And I have no regrets. So, long introduction to what this video will be about my recommendations on podcasts. So, I don't have many. I'll be honest with you. I've listened to a few, and they're the ones I have. The first podcast I ever discovered was on that fated day of the hospital, waiting in my car for the COVID test. And I got through a fair few episodes with that. So I discovered Hamish and Andy's podcast. No, I knew them before. Let's be real. They were radio hosts, so it's just literally called Hamish and Andy. So they were radio hosts. They've been around a long time. I've watched like TV shows of theirs. I've listened to their radio on and off when they were on it. And then I discovered this. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't know they had a radio show. I knew that. A podcast. I'll give it a shot. And now I'm all up to date. I'm completely up to date. And that's one of my first recommendations. Well, my first recommendation. So they're a comedic duo. So there's Hamish and Andy. And there is also their I'm going to say the audio person and someone that's been around for a while with them, Jack. So the main two are Hamish and Andy, but Jack does chime in quite often, I guess, now. So at the moment they have someone that comes in each episode. They have someone that's like recorded an audio when they've chosen that audio, who says hello and like maybe what they're doing and so on. They also have multiple different things they have. So they have power moves. So I don't know. I don't have the book with me. I have the book. So they created a coffee table book on power moves. So power moves are, I guess, a move you use to or something you say or something you do to gain power in a situation. Probably quite a common example of if you're a tall friend and you have someone that's shorter than you, you put your arm on and you use them as like an armrest. That's a power move. At the moment, they've gone into betting. Not really betting. They've got, I don't know how to explain it, a horse, but like it's a digital horse. So they're going into putting their money into digital horse racing, kind of. Like they've got digital horses and they race and you can win real money from them winning that race. And they can run a lot of races because they're a digital horse. They don't have to rest. And like real horses, they do have that capability of maybe having better genes, and just some horses are going to be out of luck, I guess, or maybe out of real good experience of choosing. There will be ones that are more likely to be better racers and have better genes, but then there's also that like potluck situation. Another thing they created was the Hamish and Andy coin. So if you do come on and you do your what's it called? I forgot what it's called. Your like skill. You come in with your skill. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to like look it up. A special skill. So that people come in doing their special skills. So they can be really random skills. They're like kind of party tricks. So one person, for example, said they could throw like an orange, I think it was an orange, up like a couple of inches or like an inch or something away from a ceiling, any ceiling, without it hitting it, and then like catch it again. It might have been less than an inch, but I'm just saying they failed miserably. Most fail, but if you don't fail, you get a Hamish and Andy coin, which they've made it so supposedly it correlates with a Bitcoin. So one Hamish and Andy coin equals one Bitcoin, and then they've got like a 10 coin, 5 coin. I don't know. But yeah, it's sort of that situation. So, and if not, then you get a coin of no value, essentially. So they have no value, and you can create your own value on that coin, but it's got no value. The other thing is like upset Andy. So Andy is more of a person that is neat and maybe a bit more precise on things, but Hamish is more like carefree. So people call in and have like something they do that will upset Andy. Some are gross, some are like fairly, like I'm like, oh yeah, I would have done that. Whether you consider it gross, I can't think of examples, but like one person said, I think their wife or their girlfriend would use their hair to floss. So yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I don't know how, like, I don't know if that would actually work, but yeah, I mean, practical, I guess. It's probably not that bad for you, but a little gross, yeah. Yeah, so that is Hamish and Andy. There's lots of other things. They sometimes talk about pastimes, especially in previous episodes, or talk about specific people, and so on and so forth. Another podcast I've been listening to, actually I just remembered, is it relates to the Hamish and Andy one, is Hamish and Andy's Remembering Project. So what they do, they have someone pick a date, and then they go back through all their old like show archives and pick a particular year with that date and a talk segment on the radio that they had, and they choose a talk segment and try and remember that and listen to it again. So most of the time they might remember like aspects of it, but not everything. So I found that interesting because like as someone that didn't like regularly listen to their shows, I found out new things. I found like certain things that were funny, like they went all the way back I think to like 2006 or 7. So yeah, they go quite a while back, and it's quite interesting. And if you are someone that has watched or listened to Hamish and Andy or watched, then that might be an interesting little thing for you. Okay, another podcast I have been listening to, I think this was the second podcast I discovered, was Intentional with Sedona Christina. If you have watched some of my low waist videos that I've done, or like Lush haul videos, then you will have heard me talk about Sedona Christina. So she is a vegan low waist YouTuber and I guess podcaster. In her podcast, she interviews people and she talks about different aspects of intentional living, essentially. So it really depends on the episode, but there'll be episodes of people that have like a low waste, like eco-friendly store, or they had a vegan chef, or they had a mum that was living a low waste lifestyle. So in comparison to some of the other people that were single or had partners but no children. And also people that have like started up their own business. A lot of the time they're more eco-friendly, like environmentally conscious businesses, but still businesses. So they had a guy that was doing like a recycling sort of program where they would pick up boxes from people's houses which had different recycling items. It depended per, I think, week or however often they did it and what particular items were being picked up that day. But items that wouldn't have generally been recycled in a normal recycling bin, I guess. So hard to recycle items essentially was a service. So he would charge a certain amount per fortnight or week or month or whatever. And they would do that service for people and take them where they needed to go to be recycled. So it took that stress away and that more of an ease for those people to just put it out, and then that would be taken and it'd be fine. So yeah, she does a lot of hosts a lot of people that talk about self-care and entrepreneurship and caring for the environment and veganism, and generally like fairly inspiring conversations and informative conversations. So in comparison to the last two I've talked about, this one's a lot more like it's obviously not comedic like the other two I talked about, the Hamish and Andy ones that are a lot more comedic. These ones are a lot more inspiring and informative, and something I might listen to when I'm in the mood to relax, or I want to just feel inspired and have a new sense of passion for doing something, I guess, along the lines of, I guess, consciousness. I don't know, like a eco, I don't know, I guess inspire me to do something along the intentional living path, just not dawdling along and whatever. So being more intentional with things, I guess, is what it inspires me to be and do. And the last podcast I have is a very recent one that I've been listening to. And like I'm still listening to the other ones. The Hamish and Andy ones aren't all caught up, so I'm just like listening week by week. Sedona Christina, I'm still like getting through that. And this one is the Tripod. So if you know the Try Guys, which are a fairly big YouTube group, I've been watching them for a while. I went off them for a bit. I don't know, I'd forgotten to subscribe and it just wasn't popping up. So there was that. But I had been watching them previous, and I still watch them now. Not every video, but a fair few. And so this is their podcast, which they've called the Tripod. Their podcast is different from Hamish and Andy's, but it's like more of a comedic podcast because they're a comedic group, right? That try things. But they also do, although it is comedic, they do a lot more moments in comparison to Hamish and Andy where it might be inspiring to an extent. Like I found some like actually genuinely helpful. So in their podcast, they really talk about different things, but the common factors are they've, at least not from the start, but they've had people that leave 5-star reviews. So you have to leave a 5-star review, and then they give their secret. So most of the time it's just a secret. Sometimes it has a question attached, but their secrets, it really varies. A lot of from childhood that has happened or whatever. So they share their secret, and then the Try Guys will read them out loud and talk about that, essentially. So there's a wide variety of secrets. Yeah, so there's that. And then there's like advice with Miles Bonsignore. Miles Bonsignore. So he's the podcast guy. I don't know what you call him. He's like the Jack of the Tripod, or the Try Guys, and whatever you want to say. And he is the youngest, and he does like an advice section. So most of the time it's like some really random advice. Like the last one, like he'll compare it to a bunch of things, and it's kind of fun because then you're trying to guess what he could be talking about, and most of the time, pretty much all the time, you have no idea what he's going to compare it to. Like the last one was a external battery, so for like a phone or something, which I do have but I don't use, and it wasn't very good, so I'd need a different one, and I don't use it as much anymore. I don't know. But maybe it's because I drive and I'm not catching public transport and like listening to music the whole time. I don't know. But yeah, so there's that. And then I'll talk about like not all the Try Guys are always on there. Sometimes they've got other things they've got to do. So one of them might be gone, or one of the last episodes I listened to, there was only 2 of them there. So they were talking about like high school, like their musicals and bands, and really a huge combination of different things. They're talking about the show they've been doing, or what we're doing at that time, because I'm still quite a while behind with this one. And they're like their tour they were going on, and yeah, really an array of things. It's really hard to pinpoint what exactly they talk about. It's all can be comedic. It can all be talking about what's happened, or they were talking about one of their sisters' weddings, and yeah, it's just a bunch of guys talking about numerous different things. It really depends on the episode, but there are, as I said, a common thing that happens pretty much in every episode. So yeah, you'll have someone give their secret, and you'll have advice. Sometimes I'll have advice from older guys and not Miles, because I think like Miles is gone. So they like try and create advice from each of them, kind of like a sentence by sentence sort of scenario yeah, so my mind is a bit fuddled. I don't know. I've been like out all day, most of the day. I've been doing stuff pretty constant, and I'm ready to just sit down and have dinner. So this was, yeah, a little last minute recommendation, I guess, of mixed up thoughts that aren't really cohesive, and I'm a little cold, and I'm just ready to sit down somewhere else. I know I'm sitting. I just want to relax, and as much as I like talking to you, it's not always a relaxing time because my mind is not here and I just want to sit in silence. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the mess that is me today. I know I'm not dressed fancily or like I'm really shooting a video. I put some makeup on. I think I did it okay. I don't know, and I've just hit my leg and it's flung out. Oh, I keep doing it. And I'm cold, and I went for a walk this morning, and this is just what I'm wearing, and I didn't have time to change. Maybe I did, but I couldn't be bothered, you know what? So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.